but weren't brave enough in the attack. We challenged the guys today to trust the first thing they see, take risk and play forward and be a little bit more brave. I think we still fouled up a lot of transitions and probably could have connected and finished off a couple more plays tonight. But overall, I think we were at least a good version of the Philadelphia Union, which is being proactive rather than reactive. Created a lot of chances tonight against a really good New England team. So I think overall, good performance. We did change formations, which at home, I still prefer to play in the 4-4-2 diamond, but with their great attacking outside backs, I think it was a good matchup for us to go against them and try and be basically man to man with Kai and Mbaizo on Bai and Jones, who for me Jones has become one of the best outside backs in our league. Can play with both feet, great attacking, incredible endurance and athleticism. So to watch him get better and better each year has been pretty impressive. So I think we did a decent job limiting their chances overall. And had a really strong performance. Again, Damian Lowe steps in, does a good job for us. I thought Mbaizo was good as the game went on, especially he got stronger in the second half, which was good. And for Danny to, in some instances, we talked about at halftime, if you don't like what you see or don't think the combination is going to be perfect, pull the trigger and shoot. And I think he did that off of the throw-in. And when you shoot, good things happen. So good for him to get that goal in the run of play, and overall I think a good, really strong team performance, and also have to thank the fans again for another big sellout crowd that helps us so much and pushes us on.
Two from me. The first is what is Ali's injury, and the second is going back to Daniel for a second. At any point in the recent weeks, could you tell that it was on his mind that he hadn't scored from open play?
Yeah, so first with Ali, he was obviously going to start the game, but picked up a minor quad injury, a grade 1. Don't know how long it will be. Grade 1 is as positive of news as you can get. Sometimes that could just mean scar tissue in there or something that's minimal. So hopefully he comes back quickly, because we're obviously much better with him on the field. And if you think I'm lying, Matt, you were at practice the other day, and Ali was with the first team, so I'm not so that was the plan. The plan was for him to start. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But again, guys stepped up in his absence, and I think, when your captain's out, everybody, look, you always play at your max, but there has to be collectively a little bit more when you're missing your leader and your captain. So that part was good. In terms of Danny, look, a lot of it, if you look at his stats now, it's pretty darn good. If you look at the goals and assists, it's great. But people are going to always talk about the run of play goals. I still will argue taking penalty kicks, having the guts to do it, being brave and making them is still it's still a goal. So that's important. But for him to hit the back of the net in the run of play, I think was big. And he's the type of player that works so hard defensively and does so much for the team. In a lot of instances, he's still arriving in the box at good times, and guys just aren't getting him the ball at the right moment. So if you go back and watch tapes from all of our games, he could easily, if the balls were given to him at the right moment, have several more goals in the run of play. But that was certainly a big one, because that changes the game. And again, against Petrovic, it's not easy to beat him. You saw his quality tonight, and to put 3 past them was something special.
So with Ladoya, it was something picked up in training?
Yeah, exactly. In training, one of the passes that he made, it just felt a little bit weird. He previously, he'll be okay though. He day before had an ultrasound and everything was clean in it, and then felt a little strain on it on one of the last passes of an exercise we did yesterday. Then got an MRI, and that's where the grade 1 showed up. And sometimes grade 1 is old scar tissue or different things, but we're not going to risk, a situation like we had last year at the end of the season that was I'll just say a lot longer than we had hoped.
So going with the 3-5-2 today, what did you see from those 2 central midfielders in terms of how Leon and Jose worked together? And it seemed like Jose was forward a lot more. Is that part of the formation, do you think?
I think so. When you have 3 good center backs like we do, we have the luxury of leaving them one-on-one, and that's always risky for sure. But I think it starts with three guys that, Damian Lowe in space, Jacob in space, and Jack Elliott. They're fine being man-to-man for, brief periods. I don't want our center backs one-on-one for the 90 minutes. That's suicide, but I shouldn't say that word. But that's a bad thing. That's too big of a risk. But, I think that now, because Leon knows that, because Jose knows that, they can be braver. They can go for balls. And Leon's at his best, and he was excellent, especially Leon's first 20 minutes I thought were amazing. Ball wins, connecting forward passes, running and driving with the ball, because he's on the dribble, pretty powerful when he opens up his legs and runs. So he was great. And I think, when you have three guys back there, again, you can take a little bit more risk. And again, I thought Jose, like you said, got forward a bit, and to be honest, should have gotten an assist off the one that he cuts back at the end line and Julian puts over the bar. So overall, really good performance. Great to have Jose back fully. And again, it's been a little disjointed, stop go, suspensions, injuries, different things, Champions League battling, all the 6 extra games that we've played against other teams. I think we'll be okay. That's how I'll put it.
Jim, I know you, in the press conference before the match, you were talking about transitions and making kind of an emphasis on them. Obviously, right away you saw that. Was that kind of a byproduct of how New England was letting you play, or how you guys set up in the way Leon and Jose found the space tonight?
Yeah, you guys could see too, even off of our own goal kicks now, they're brave too. They play two center backs and they'll go man to man against your strikers. So when Bai attacks really well and Jones, they both get forward so much that sometimes Jones is crossing to Bai. So just common sense wise, you have to think now there's only two other defenders that are back, and Farrell through the years has been one of the best. I call them guys that can put out a fire. They can scramble and sprint back and have good recovery runs and break plays up. So with that now, we knew we would get a lot of transitions. Were we perfect on the night with them? Absolutely not. I think we could have executed a lot better. We were close to breaking through on a lot. So many where we'd fire a ball right into that green zone in front of the center backs and behind their six, and we just, our first touch would be off, or we missed one. The one that comes to mind is the one Jose plays into Julian, and it goes right under his foot. Like, that is what we're built for, into that entry zone, and then we go. So we weren't perfect, but we did get enough of them right to get a result.
I think it was talking, you said about halftime just being more shooting the ball.
Yeah.
More, I think there was a sequence in the first half where it ends up with Mikel and the shot out between the
Yeah.
instead of being a little more aggressive with those. Moments like that, something you noticed going into halftime to tell that front three to be a little more aggressive?
Yeah, look, 30 yards and in, we're not Man City. We're not Arsenal. We're not going to pass 65 times in that area and score a goal. So shoot. Deflections happen. Even in the first half, just by shooting from outside, their center back almost scores an own goal. You remember the play where Daniel's running with them. So things happen when you shoot, and I think Daniel's goal is an example of that. You can almost see his thinking. He wants to pass, and he just goes, you know what, I'm going to hit this hard. And and it goes off the near post, and it goes in and beats a top goalkeeper. So, sometimes I think in the first half, Mikel and Julian are looking to combine and make these beautiful passes. And sometimes the best option might be to pull the trigger.
Hey, Jim.
How you doing?
How can a win like this against one of the top teams in the conferences help your squad going forward for the rest of the year?
Yeah, they are a good team, and that needs to be said. They're going to be a top team in our conference, that's for sure. We want to, at a minimum, finish in that top four and get home games. That matters a lot, as you could see by tonight and the crowd that we have, which was amazing. To beat a good team, this is probably our best win of the season, our most complete win, and I love clean sheets. To keep a 0, that matters. My brain always still goes to tiebreakers at the end of the year. We wound up tied with LAFC last year, and we lose the Supporters Shield on a wins thing. So, goal differential matters. Every goal you concede, every goal you score, it all matters. So to win 3-0 against a strong New England team was really, really important.
Jim, you talked in the past about just maybe forcing too much in the final third. There was a little bit of that maybe in the
For sure,
beginning,
first half too.
Changed a little bit in the second half.
Uh-huh.
Is that an emphasis?
Yeah, we talked at halftime about everybody wants to play the perfect final ball, when sometimes the most important pass is just connecting to the next guy. Play 2 touches, receive it, play the next guy. Eventually things will open up. The more you can move the ball in a quick manner, all of a sudden the spaces that were 5 to 8 yards now become 10 to 12, and then you can get that through ball just by moving the ball fast. I think sometimes we'd get on the ball, and Jose had a bunch of them too, where he's trying to clip this perfect ball over the top or thread the needle just right, and they're not on the same page. So, trusting each other is such an important part of things, and sometimes just doing the simple things perfect is what they hate when I say it, but I say it all the time. Do the simple things perfect, and all of a sudden those goals start to come and the combinations become cleaner. When we start to do things outside of our skill set, and everybody's trying to make the final ball and be the number 10, you get yourself into trouble. So I think we did a better job of that in the second half than the first, but still, overall, really good performance and a big win for us.
Jim, you mentioned a couple press conferences ago about how you guys are first getting one set pieces, but you're lacking the finishing. Tonight, you guys finally get one off the set piece with a quick throw. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it's good. It's important. The margins, especially in these rivalry games against New England, it's usually a 1-goal game either way. So the little plays become big plays. So a quick throw in off of Mikel, still putting good pressure on Farrell. Did he foul him? Maybe. But the ball comes in quick. And now Daniel has a chance to shoot at the near post, and he does it, and he does well. So, restarts are a big part of the game. Throw-ins are a big part of the game. So for us to capitalize on that, again, when the margins are razor thin and there's 2 good teams competing, that can be the difference, and tonight it was.
Throw-ins that quick, taught by you or instinct?
We want to play fast always. When the ball goes out, you want to go quickly. There was a time in this sport where you could coach your ball boys in this stadium to have the ball ready, and it could be a real advantage. And then when the other team had a throw in, I just would say maybe we had some meetings to instruct them how to get the ball to the other team, especially at the end of games. But that's gone, and it's a smart change that the league's made with the ball stands. So if you're able to find a quick one, if the ball is now in the vicinity, get it in as quick as possible, because human nature, right? These guys are professional athletes. They're working their asses off for 90 minutes. And the natural reaction when the ball goes out of bounds for every human being is, I can catch my breath. I can take a break. And we want to try to instill in our guys the opposite. This is a chance to go to goal. This is a chance, if it's a defensive throw-in, a chance for us to press and win the ball back. So, can't take credit for the throw-in, but certainly our guys are programmed to get the ball in fast. Thanks.